Success leaves clues. There's not 1,000 things that you got to do to be successful. There's a couple things that maybe we were never taught, that maybe we weren't programmed with, that we have to get right in order to get to the life we don't need a break from. Remember, that's why we're here, to get to the life you don't need a break from, to continue to create the life that you want instead of just accept the life that you have and then complain about it and, right, not make all the things happen. So, in order for us to go off and design that ideal life, for us to get to that place, ladies and gentlemen, we have to start thinking a bit differently. You guys know this. That's the thesis. If you change your thinking, you change your life. So, some of the things that you heard in there are the same messages you've been hearing over and over again, but now we just got to do what we know. And so these are always just reminders. These are reminders for you to say, okay, am I thinking about it this way? Am I locked in here? I know I want this to happen. I know I want to be financially free. I know I want my business to thrive. I know I don't want to work for somebody. I know I want my relationships to be great. I know I want to be a better husband, father, mother, right? Whomever, daughter. I know I want to be healthier. I know I want these things. How am I thinking about this? And do I need to change some of the ways I think? The first things that he said are things that you've heard me say a bunch. 3 questions he always asks. Number one, what do you want? Man, sounds like a broken record, right? What do you want? How bad do you want it? And then how much are you willing to suffer to get it? Number one thing, ladies and gentlemen, is sitting down and asking yourself, what do you want? Whether this is sport or life, right? It's all the same thing. It's all how you prepare. It's all in your mindset. So first, what do you want? What do you want to make happen? Get clear on that. And he said something. He was like, man, if you say I want to be the best, then how bad do you really want it? Because if you want to be the best comes with sacrifices and responsibility and more ups and downs and needing to grow to handle more, have more capacity to handle what's up ahead. So if you want your ideal life, you want that life you don't need a break from, you want to be the best, AKA, right? You want to live the best life. Well, then there's going to have to be more things that you can handle. You have to sacrifice more. You can't do all the things that your friends, family, people around you do because they don't necessarily want to be the best. They don't want to live the best life. So you have to do different things. But you have to remind yourself that. You have to remind yourself that the reason why you must sacrifice, that why you must, right, suffer a bit is because you said you want a big life. You said you want to be time free, financially free, healthy, create generational wealth, pass a legacy, right? You said big things. And anytime we're asking for big things, God is building the capacity in us to handle that life. So you got to ask yourself those questions. What do you really want? How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to suffer to make it happen? The champions always pay a price. We never negotiate the price that you have to pay to get to the life you're asking for. Most people are negotiating the price. Oh, is it really worth it? I'm not really sure. He said something about once we step out of that comfort zone and get into the challenging zone, there's a bunch of excuses that start coming our way. I don't know if I can do this. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have the resources. All these things start coming into our mind as soon as we get out of that comfort zone. As soon as we start saying, I do want to go after that life. I do want to be great. I do want financial freedom, whatever it is. Then the excuses come. We have to be mindful of that and know that you have to pay a price. Talked about attitude. Talked about attitude. What do I always say? There's only two things you can control in your life. Only two things. Your actions and your attitude. That's it. All the other things that might you be dealing with or whatever you see on social media or whatever you're happening in your environment, you can't control any of that stuff. You can control your actions, what you actually do with your body and your time and your attitude. You choose your mindset. You choose how you feel. Most people struggle. That's why we have very low emotional intelligence out here, because most people struggle to control their emotions, their mind, their attitude, the things that are happening in between here. But you can decide to change it. Keep jumping on calls like this. You keep reprogramming yourself. You'll learn how to change your attitude. You'll learn how to not let the external world impact your internal world. It's the other way around. Your internal world has to impact the external world. It's a mindset. It's something you have to practice. You all know this. Said in there, champions know how to motivate themselves to do the work that's required. Champions know how to motivate themselves to do the work that's required. Do you know how to motivate yourself to do what's required? Or do you need someone telling you what to do or reminding you what to do or constantly feeding you a little bit more? Like at a certain point, ladies and gentlemen, you got to take ownership and responsibility of your life to say, you know what? If it is to be, it's up to me. I can motivate myself to get to do the things I know I need to do, probably because I'm clear on what I want. That's how I get motivated. We talked about this on Monday, right? We get motivated because we're clear. You're not motivated to do something you don't know where you're going. You don't know what the outcome is. You don't know why you're doing it. But when you are clear, when you know exactly what it is you want, when you know exactly what you want and why you want that thing, you can get motivated and you can motivate yourself to do it. He said, like all high performers, right? Sport is like life. We're all performing. Even when we look at our text, the 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class. That's why you always hear in there the language of champions, champion language, because life, sport, all these things are similar. How one thinks about life could be the same way one thinks about sport, being a champion, winning on the at the highest level. You want to create your life at the highest level. You want life exactly where you want it. You want health, wealth, love, and happiness, all the good things. You want that. Well, you have to approach it in the same manner that a Kobe Bryant would, in the same manner that a LeBron James would, or whatever sport, right? Like you're thinking about this like, how am I going to perform at the highest level for myself and my family? That's the mindset. Remember, life is a game of inches, millimeters, small things, small shifts of the mind. That's how we get to the life that we want. That great last point that he made about the fighter's mentality versus the victim's mentality. He got diagnosed with Parkinson's. Again, the mindset he created by being in sports, by being around champions, by him being a champion, by then when you have another situation in life, when it comes to your health, guess what? You're thinking about things in the same way. He gave that story. He got diagnosed with Parkinson's. Wife calls his son, like, hey, dad's slipping into a little bit of victim mindset here. Son laughs because he knows, right? My dad's a champion. He knows he's had this fighter's mindset for his whole life. So all he does is he does some Google. He's like, hey, we got a plan. We're gonna come up. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna attack this Parkinson thing. Go right back into the fighter's mindset. And it's natural. Most people don't have that. Most people get a diagnosis like Parkinson's and what? Knocks them out. Knocks them out. Not physically. They feel exactly the same. Mentally, it knocks them out. That was the haymaker of life that they're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Woe is me. I can't keep fighting because they weren't training themselves through life on how to be more mentally tough to handle all of the adversities of life, all of the things that are going to come your way. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the fight is uphill. Everything that you want in life is uphill. It's up there. It's higher above you. It's not down beneath you, which means you have to grow and get better and learn. And eventually, what happens is if you don't have the capacity to handle whatever it is you're going after, life throws that haymaker, knocks you out, knocks you back, slides you all the way back down the mountain. The question is, how mentally tough are you to get back up? How mentally tough are you to be able to get back up and say, hey, I know what I'm going to do. Now I just got to go do it. In our text, the 177 mental toughness secrets, it says the great ones aren't afraid to suffer. This goes back into the mindset of what do you want? How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to suffer for it? The great ones aren't afraid to suffer. If you want to do big things in life, again, this message isn't for everybody, right? Again, we preface this all the time on these calls. I appreciate people jumping on and right getting a chance to be introduced to what we do, but this is not for the average, the ordinary, the people that just want to live status quo and just get by and just have mediocre relationships and okay, right, marriages and okay in their health and okay in their that's not us. We're the people that want to go design our ideal life. We want the best of all of it. We want the best relationships. We want the best health. We want the most finances. We want to be able to bless the most people. Like we want more. So when you know what you want and you're clear about it, you got to know you can't be afraid to suffer. You got to be willing to pay the price. Got to be willing to pay the price. Here's what it says in the text. It says, the world class knows success always comes with a price tag. While the middle class wastes their time searching for shortcuts, the great ones get in the game and endure the pain and suffering every champion must endure. There's no escape. The road to victory is paved with blood, sweat, and tears. On their quest to go pro, champions are not surprised when pain and suffering tags along. They see it as a part of the process. They understand at the core of their being that championship mentality is a result of hanging tough through adversity, and it cannot be gained any other way. The mentally tough get tough by fighting so many battles, some lost, some won, that they eventually become great warriors. The pain and suffering process is to mental toughness what carbon is to steel. The middle class often sees taking the easy way out as victory, but in reality, they're robbing themselves of the exposure and experience they need to become great. It's the greatest tragedy of the middle class. They are so close to a life of success and fulfillment, yet so far away due to their own self deception and unwillingness to meet life head on and endure the necessary suffering. The middle class is in a never ending negotiation for success. The great ones know success and fulfillment are non negotiable. You have to suffer, you have to go through the process. You have to go through the adversities. You have to go through the battles. It's what makes you mentally tough enough to handle the life you're asking for. So when you feel yourself complaining, down, right? Oh, woe is me. Life is hard, rough. Like just be excited about it. Man, this is great that you get a chance to pay the price. It's exciting that you get a chance to go through the adversity. Why? Because it's building the capacity in you to handle whatever you've prayed for, whatever life you've asked for. That's what the adversities do. That's how you get mentally tough. That's how you surpass the competition. That's how you outlast other people. That's how you build to great health, to great wealth, to great finance, like all the stuff. It's through the battles. It's not about finding the shortcut. It's not about taking the easy way out. It's not about finding the path of least resistance. That's not what it's about. That's what society will try to get you to do. That's what the middle class will get you to do. That's what middle class thinking will get you to do. How can I do the least amount of work and make the most amount with it? How can I do the least amount, put the least amount of effort in and get the most amount of result? Instead of doing the hard work, let me take Ozempic, right? And instead of like really diving in and building the foundational blocks to my finances, let me try to just do some credit repair so I can get a loan so I can get some money, right? Like we always try, they sell us the shortcut, not understanding that we have to go through the battles. We have to go through the process. That's what makes you tough enough to be able to handle what's up ahead. You again, we just listened to Bill Bestwick, right, talk about the fact that champions, right, people that are champions typically oh wait, I've lost my screen. There we go. People that are champions, right, typically have to pay more of a price. They have to be more responsible, like they're more responsible for themselves. They have more ups and downs. Like that's what it takes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're the person that wants to go off and design your ideal life, which I know you do, I know you wouldn't jump on these calls to not want to grow and learn and become better and have more and get to that life. Sometimes we just need a shift in our direction, right? Little millimeter shift changes the trajectory of your life. Maybe in the past you were taught, our programming was that whatever you do should be easy. Whatever you love doing, whatever your passion is, whatever it like, it should be easy to you. It should be simple. It shouldn't be a struggle. You shouldn't have to suffer. Marriage, your love life, it should just be easy all the time. Y'all should just love each other. It's not really work. You shouldn't have to suffer. Maybe they lied to you and your programming is off. So now your expectation is off. So you're not willing to do the work necessary to get to the life that you want, to get to the outcomes you want. That's why we're here. So we can shift our perspective. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the thesis, if you change your thinking, you change your life. If you change your thinking, you change your life. Because from our thinking, we create all of the things. Our thinking leads to our beliefs, leads to how we operate, leads to our habits. It leads to our habits, lead to our character, who we actually are. And then that allows us to go off and do whatever it is that we're doing in life. But if we need to get to the next level in life, we go head first. Remember, Darius Daniels used to always say, how do you get to the next level? Head first. So if you want to get to the next level in your finances, in your health, in your relationships, in all the things, you go head first, right? You go head first and you continue to make sure that you're thinking about things differently. Here's what it says. Lance Armstrong says, what makes a great endurance athlete is the ability to absorb potential embarrassment and to suffer without complaint. I was discovering that if it were a matter of gritting my teeth, not caring how I looked, how it looked, and outlasting everybody else, I won. It didn't seem to matter what the sport was. In a straight ahead long distance race, I could beat anybody. If it was good, if it was a suffer fest, I was good at it. If it was a suffer fest, I was good at it. On a scale from 1 to 10, the action step today says 1 to 7 being highest, 7 being highest. How much are you willing to suffer to make your ultimate vision a reality? That's the question today. That's the question. How willing are you to suffer to make your vision a reality? That's assuming you have a vision. You might not be able to answer that question if you don't have a strong, compelling vision and you don't really know why you want those things. It might not be worth it to suffer. You might not know why it makes sense to get healthy. You might not have anything pulling you down that path. But if you do, then you know why it's important to suffer, why it's important to, right, to cut some things back, why it's important to sacrifice some things, why it's important to fast, because you have a vision of what you want. That's my encouragement for all of you. Get your vision together. It's where all of this stuff starts. All of it starts with how clear you are. What you want and what I want are completely different things. What the world tells you you should want is not actually what you want. Remember, they're feeding you these things. What the world is telling you you want, you don't want those things. You don't necessarily want those things. You don't necessarily want the house and the car and the, right, living on the beach. Like that might not be what you want. You might want to live a life of impact. You might want to live a life of fulfillment. You might want to be able to give back in different ways. You might want to, show that your great grandkids remember who you are. Like you have to tap in and understand exactly why you're doing this. Then once you understand that, now we can start making some things happen, yo. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. I will always tell you that. If no one else tells you that, I will always tell you that. Your families are counting on you. They're counting on you to get this information. They're counting on you to take this information, apply it so you can go off and build a better life. Remember, you are getting the capacity to handle the life that you're asking for. Not everyone is willing to do it, but I know you guys are, and we're going to continue to make this thing happen. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Feel free to jump on, share this with somebody. Again, this is your tribe. If you are headed in this direction of growth, of learning, of becoming better, this is who we are. Not everyone is here to do those things. Not everyone wants to grow and learn and become better and do more things and sacrifice and all the stuff, but we are. Invite people to this. We know that we're planting the right seeds so we can get people to the next level. Love you guys. I'll see you on Friday. Take care.